2 months ago, this place was just an empty space. There was no water, no fish. It was just an idea. And honestly, we had no idea how it would turn out. But today, that same idea is slowly turning into something alive. A fish pond that we built from scratch, step by step. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything from digging the pond, laying the liner, how we went to catch the fish that we put in the pond, and even introducing azola. If you don't know azola, it's the things that most fish eat. So and I will also explain how this pond will stay clean using a simple system. We are still working on that. The system will include an intake bay and a bog filter. Let me take you back to where it all started. So this idea of building the fish pond came from a simple place. Initially, we had not thought of building a fish pond. As you can see, the first hole that we dug, we were just making a bed for my vegetables. So that's where the idea came from. And when that hole remained there, because we were looking for some soil, that's when we thought of making a fish pond. And let me tell you, this part was not easy, because we wanted something sustainable, something that could support us even in a small way, but also something practical, especially being here at the construction site, because as you all know, my house is not yet finished. I'm just developing the land. So instead of just having an idle space, we thought, why not turn it into something useful, something that can produce food and also teach the kids something about real life, because here up country getting fish is so hard, and we were used to giving kids fish at least once every week. So that where we thought, why don't we make our own fish pond so that we can be producing our own fish for just consumption. And of course, at the beginning, it felt like a big task, but we decided to start anyway. And the first step was digging the pond. And let me tell you, this part was not easy, because the ground was tough in some areas and soft in others. We didn't use any heavy machines. It was all manual work, step by step, slowly shaping the pond. The kids were also involved, which made it more interesting and a bit chaotic sometimes, because we decided to dig the pool ourselves. We used to do it every day in the evening, just 1 hour every day. That's why it took us 2 months to get finished to all that, because some evenings we were busy, we were not being able to build it. But that, I think, what make the pond so special, because we weren't just building a pond, but we were creating something together. One important thing we kept in mind was the depth, because fish need enough space and stable temperature. So we made sure the pond was deep enough to support life properly. And the design of our pond is not like any other pond. You will see that we have some deep ends, and some places it's so shallow. It has some stairs. The reason why I have those stairs is because of the kids, and so that you can be able to be accessing the deep points so easily. And I'm building it as a recreation place where you can just sit when it's so hot, dip your legs in water and all that. So that way it has some stairs in it. So After digging, the next step was preparing the base. This is very important because only if any sharp stones or objects can damage the liner. So we had to smooth out the ground as much as possible. Then we laid down the protective layer so that the liner that we put, that paper that you can see me putting, so this liner is what holds the water in place. Without it, everything will just seep in the ground. Laying it properly took time. We took at least, it was almost 2 hours. I know, laying it down, but making sure that there were no folds that could cause problems later. It might look simple, but this step determines how long it will last. Once everything was in place, it was finally time to add water. I will admit that this is one of the most satisfying moments that I had to do, watching the pond slowly fill up after all that hard work. But the problem is we had to fill it at night, because we have water here on just Sunday, Tuesday and Friday, so it took the whole night to fill that pot, and it started to feel really like, okay, this is actually happening. Before it was just digging and you're not sure that whatever you are envisioning will come to pass, or it will be true. And now came the exciting part, going to get the fish. So the fish, we went to a friend place. It's a very good friend of ours, where we could get healthy fish to start our pod. He has like 5 pods, but the pods he doesn't sell fish. It's just for them and giving to friends, and the fish pods are for irrigation. He usually do irrigation, and it was a whole experience on its own. It wasn't as easy as we thought. Fish are fast and very good at escaping. Initially, I thought we would just go get some net. As you can see on the video, we are trying to catch them, and we had to actually remove the water from the pond that we are getting the fish from, so that at least it can be easy for us to get them. And I thought that we just get the net and start catching them. Hey, let me tell you, it was not easy. Those things are fast, and you see them in this area, and then when you move to that place, they just move on to the next corner, and you keep rushing to each side. They run, and you just keep on chasing them, and it's not as easy as I thought it would be, but eventually we managed to catch them. And honestly, that moment felt like a big achievement because catching them was not easy, but every time we could get one, we could feel so happy. So in total we managed to catch at least 26. We mixed a big, medium size and small ones, because we were being told that when they give birth, one fish can give birth to almost 100 fingerlings. So we opted to mixing them. So after that, we bring the fish to the pond, and that's a very important step, bringing them to the pond, because you just can't throw them immediately. They need time to adjust to a new water condition. So we took it slow, letting them adapt before fully releasing them. And then finally they were in their new home. You see the buckets that we are putting the fish in, you have to let the water from your pond mix with the water that you carried them in, so that they can adapt to the new water. And then you have to hold that bucket until the fish can come out themselves. You don't force them to come out. So it took us almost 30 minutes to get them out. They have to adapt to that water, then come out freely, because we were being told when you force them to come out, they will be in shock and then they will die. And thankfully, no, none of them has died yet. So you just mix the water you came with the water from your pond, so that they zinatoka tu zenyewe after they have adapted to the new temperature. Because remember, the water that you brought them with is a different temperature, or the water they were used to is a different temperature from the water that you are getting them to. So you have to be very gentle and take your time, so that they can freely get into the new water. So as you can see in the bucket, we also carried some azora. He had some azora, and azora, these are the floating plants that plays a very important role in the pond. First, it helps improve the water quality, then it absorbs excess nutrient which help the water cleaner, and at the same time it can also be used to feed fish. So it's both a natural filter and a food source, which makes it very useful in the system like this. So our azora, as you can see, it's separate. We planted it separate from the fish, because you understand, when we plant them directly to the fish will eat them because before they even multiply. So what we did, we planted them separately. We have them in that what will be the bog filter. We have some there, and then the others in a bucket. We are experimenting to see where they will perform best, and that's why we have separated them from that. And now, one of the most important part of this pond is something we haven't fully installed yet. That's why you can see we have some holes, mwisho to na mwisho. That's what we call the intake bay and the bog filter. We haven't installed it yet, but it's something we are working on. When we get to work on it, I think give you a video and a better explanation, but we are already planned for it, and that is the intake bay and the bog filter I'm talking about. So let me just give you an explanation, or a small explain how it will work. So the intake bay will collect debris. These are things like the leaves, dirt and waste before the water moves to the main filtration. Then the water will pass through the bog filter. This is basically a natural filtration system using plants and gravel. We'll have to plant that and put gravel. As water flows through it, the plant absorbs the nutrient and the gravel traps the dirt. It's like how the liver works. The plants in the liver, they trap the nutrient, and then the stones, they clean the dirt, they tap that dirt. So by the time the water returns to the pot, it's much cleaner. So instead of using complicated machines, we are creating a natural low maintenance system, and once it complete, it should keep the pod healthy and balanced. And you will see right now that the water is a bit dirty, but when we install the intake bay and the bulk filter, when you complete all the system, the water will be clear. I think you will see that when the time comes, the water will be clear and very clean. You can see through it, add the chini to the paper. So looking back, it's amazing how this started from nothing. It was just an idea and a bit of effort every day, and now we have a living pod. It's not perfect yet. There is still more to build, more to improve, but that part of the journey. And if you ever thought about starting something like this, I'll just tell you to start. You don't have to have everything figured out. You have to learn as you go, because it's fulfilling. Like right now, feeding them in the morning, I feed them in the evening. I just sometimes see my kids stay there. I also stay there, watch them swim, eat, and do their thing. It's so fulfilling. At least you see something you have worked on is coming to life, and you feel so good. And it's even entertaining watching them. It's entertaining chasing each other and doing some stuff. It's just a good feeling. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on my next update. Stay tuned.